Hello ladies, come on in. Welcome to Donna's Sewing Circle. We have saved a space for you. Come join us. Today is day 4 of our beginner quilting series. I'm sure you're a beginner quilter and that's how you found me on this great big wide internet. Welcome to my studio. This is where I make all my quilts and where I teach you to quilt also. Today's lesson is about pre-cut fabrics. I'm going to teach you about all the different kinds of ways that you can buy fabric. A lot of quilters, when they're beginning, feel uncomfortable cutting their fabric, so they'd rather buy it pre-packaged and pre-cut. And I don't blame them. I actually learned to cut fabric. As one of the first things I did when I learned to quilt was cut my own fabric, so I've rarely bought pre-cut fabric. The only pre-cut fabric I ever buy are the fat quarters. You'll see these. You can find these in Walmart. You can find them in Hobby Lobby and your favorite quilting stores. And you can find them online, but it tells you it's a fat quarter. And they are 18 inches by 21 inches. You can get a whole lot of colors, if you don't want the entire yard of fabric, that's a great way to start. I've also got a book that just came out. It's like a companion workbook, and it goes along with my 15 video series. The link is in the description and the first comment down below. And you can purchase the book and follow along with the entire video series. And it's also a great tool to refer to, so you don't have to keep going back to my videos and trying to find where I spoke about a certain topic. They'll be right there in the book for you. Okay, so besides fat quarters, there's also fat eighths. I have never purchased a fat eighth. I'm not sure I've ever seen one, but there you can find them in quilting stores. I don't believe Hobby Lobby has them, but you can find them in quilting stores. A fat eighth is the half of the size of a fat quarter. So a fat quarter is 18 by 21. A fat eighth is 9 by 21. So, and they're great for like doing bags, purses, small items. Or if you wanted to cut them up and make quilt blocks out of them, they're good for that too. And next on the list is jelly rolls. Jelly rolls come in and I'll post a picture here in the video so you can see what I'm talking about, because I don't buy them, so I don't have them. But I know many quilters do. A lot of my students would buy them. But a jelly roll is about 40 different fabrics that coordinate, and they're 2.5 inches wide by the length of the fabric, which is usually 40 inches or 42 inches, depending on the fabric. So it's 2.5 inches wide, and it's a long strip. So you can cut them in 2.5 inch blocks, or you can make a jelly roll quilt. Some people make jelly roll quilts, or you could cut the strips in smaller pieces and make I don't think I have anything in hand, make strips and join them together. A lot of people do that. They make a jelly roll quilt. The next thing we have is called a layer cake. Hobby Lobby does not carry this. Everything I'm talking about from now on, Hobby Lobby will not carry them. Now you can order your fabric. You can ask them at the counter at Hobby Lobby to cut you something this size. But to get a whole package of coordinating fabrics, you'll have to go to either a quilt store or purchase them online. There's a lot of fabric stores online. There's Amazon. There's a lot of quilting supply stores. There's a lot of places to get your fabric. And one day I'll have to do a class on that to help you as beginners, where you can get fabric now that Joann's is gone. May she rest in peace. Okay, so the layer cakes are 10 by 10 squares. And my quilt, Jacob's Ladder, this will be our first lesson as soon as I finish this 15 lesson series. We will be doing the Jacob's Ladder. And the blocks are 10 by 10. So a layer cake would be a great package of pre-cut fabric if you wanted to go that route. I really would recommend that you go to the quilting store or Hobby Lobby and pick your fabric out and cut it along with us. but if you want to go that route, you can. So after a layer cake, we have charm packs. Charm packs are squares 5 inches by 5 inches. Charm packs won't work for here because the smaller squares that we make for this right here needs to be 5.5 inches. So do not buy the charm packs for the quilt. But there's some quilts that do call for 5 inch by 5 inch blocks. There's a lot of patterns that you can use those. And all the fabrics, when you buy a pack like that, there's usually 40 to 42 pieces of fabric in it. And they're great for just about any project you want. Well, this is clothing. It won't work for clothing. It's more for quilting items or small bags, small items that you can make. And then we have something called mini charms. They're 2.5 inch squares. They're really small. And like I said, I'll provide images so you know what I'm talking about as I go along. The mini charms are 2.5 by 2.5, and there's usually 42 pieces in a charm pack. So a lot of neat squares, and they all coordinate. They all work together. And then we have something called honey buns, and you wonder why quilters love coffee or tea and a dessert. It's because all of our fabric bundles are named after dessert. We have honey buns, mini charms, jelly rolls. I mean, that makes you think of nothing but sweets. Okay, so the honey buns are 1.5 inch strips by the length of the fabric. So you can also make, and there's 40 to 42 in a bundle. You can also make a strip quilt there. There's so many things that you could do with these fabric bundles. And then last but not least, we have the dessert roll. More desserts, imagine that. The dessert roll is a 5 inch piece, the length of the fabric, which is usually 40 inches. And you get 20 of those in a pack. And they're all coordinating, contrasting. They all work well together. So you're basically ready to start a quilt or start a quilting project when you buy one of these bundles. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it opened your eyes and helped you understand more of what is out there, that you don't always have to buy a full yard of fabric or a half yard. You can buy bundles and you don't have to worry about trying to match my fabrics like I have here. I've got tons of fabric and I have to work to find the matching pieces because they're not bundles. And I'll see you in the next class, which isn't my favorite, but we all need to do it. It's math. So we'll see you next time in the math class. God bless.